The most dangerous climate experiment in human history isn't coming. It's already happening. And its unintended side effects could be far worse than climate change itself, destroying the ozone layer, disrupting rainfall patterns, and collapsing ecosystems globally. Welcome to the terrifying reality of solar geoengineering, the controversial science of blocking the sun to cool Earth and fight global warming. Scientists are terrified of this engineering experiment, the controversial plan, to spray millions of tons of reflective particles, like sulfur dioxide, into the stratosphere to cool the planet, just like volcanoes do. This is one of the leading engineering methods used today, but shockingly, these particles could eat away Earth's protective ozone layer, exposing us to deadly UV radiation, skyrocketing skin cancer rates, and ecological collapse. And that's just the beginning. What happens if this global gamble fails? Imagine a termination shock, where temperatures skyrocket overnight, crops failures, and billions face climate chaos, worse than anything we have seen. So who is funding this planet-scale experiment? Behind the curtain are tech billionaires like Bill Gates, startups like Make Sunset, and government-backed labs are quietly investing in what's being called Earth's thermostat, launching unauthorized sulfur balloons in Mexico until the government banned them. While some hail solar geoengineering as a last resort climate fix, others see it as a dangerous Pandora's box with no global agreement on how or when to stop it. And here's the nightmare scenario. If we start geoengineering and suddenly stop due to war funding cuts or political backlash, temperatures could spike by several degrees within months, leading to mass extinction events. The UN warns this could trigger weather wars, as one country's fix becomes another's famine. Monsoons could vanish, turning nations into a dust bowl, while freezing the Arctic. Harvard's secret SCoPEx project was shut down after indigenous groups and scientists revolted, fearing catastrophic consequences. Scientists are terrified, but it's already being tested. UK is spending $76 million on high-risk geoengineering tests, including cloud brightening over the Great Barrier Reef. Why are governments and elites racing to hack the climate? Is this our last hope, or a one-way ticket to disaster? Smash that like button if you believe the truth should be exposed. This isn't just about climate change, this is about controlling the sky, the weather, and possibly humans. Stay tuned because the deeper we go, the darker it gets. Let's first look at the most ambitious climate project on Earth, known as solar geoengineering, which involves literally dimming the sun, where scientists attempt to cool the planet by reflecting sunlight back into space. The science, which makes this possible, is the stratospheric aerosol injection technique, releasing tiny reflective particles like sulfate aerosols into the atmosphere to mimic the cooling effect of volcanic eruptions, just like Mount Pinatubo did in 1991, cooling Earth by 0.5 degrees centigrade. While it sounds like a last-ditch effort to stop global warming, but this is also sparking panic in the scientific community, and here is why. These aerosols don't just bounce back sunlight, they also interact with the chemical balance of the ozone layer, the invisible shield, protecting us from key deadly UV radiation. Studies have shown that injecting sulfates into the stratosphere could accelerate ozone depletion by 9%, increasing cancer-causing UV exposure, especially in polar regions, which results in double the damage from 1990s CFCs. At the same time, using alternatives like alumina or calcite could slash ozone harm by 70%, but comes with unknown risks. From the United States to China, India, Russia, and the United Arab Emirates, a new breed of climate projects are emerging, backed by billions, aiming to cool the Earth by reflecting sunlight back into space. In the U.S., Harvard's SCoPEx project, funded by Bill Gates and other elites, has tested releasing calcium carbonate into the stratosphere to test its reflective potential. On the other hand, UK just dropped 57 million euros on real-world experiments, including stratospheric balloons and cloud-brightening drones over the Great Barrier Reef. Meanwhile, China has openly invested in stratospheric aerosol research as part of its broader geoengineering roadmap, and recently announced its intention to lead in weather control and climate intervention technologies. Saudi Arabia, through its NEOM megacity project, is also rumored to be exploring climate control infrastructure integrated into urban design. But who is actually funding these godlike experiments? A shocking 85% comes from the US, UK, and Australia, while vulnerable Global South nations, who would face the worst side effects, get just 2% of research cash. Alongside state-funded research programs, the money trail leads to tech billionaires, private climate funds, and defense-backed innovation labs, who view solar geoengineering not just as science but as strategic power. The scary part is, there's no global law preventing one nation from deploying solar geoengineering unilaterally. And the climate side effects could be catastrophic for others. No one knows what happens when we mess with the sun's rays long-term. Will it poison our lungs, blind us with acid rain, or mutate entire species? The UN admits this could disproportionately devastate the Global South, leaving millions to suffer, while rich countries stay safe. These experiments could trigger climate wars. Think of artificial droughts, shifted monsoons, or engineered cooling that benefits one region while causing droughts or monsoons elsewhere. And what really happens if we start and suddenly stop this artificial cooling system? A climate whiplash event called termination shock could trigger mass extinction level temperature spikes in just a few years. So, who really wins this battle? If global warming is the villain, solar geoengineering might be the unstable superhero we did not ask for. The real question isn't just who's funding solar geoengineering, it's who will control the climate of the future. On the other hand, in the rising world of solar geoengineering, artificial intelligence is quickly becoming the hidden force, pulling the strings behind the scenes. From optimizing aerosol particle dispersion in the stratosphere to predicting atmospheric reactions in real time, AI is being used to run complex simulations no human could ever calculate fast enough. Researchers at MIT, Oxford, and China's National Climate Center are deploying machine learning algorithms to model how stratospheric sulfate injections would impact global wind patterns, monsoon cycles, and even ozone layer recovery. UK just invested 57 million euros in AI-driven geoengineering experiments while private firms sell cooling credits like a dystopian Netflix subscription. Think of AI as the digital brain, trying to predict how one small tweak to the sky in one hemisphere could trigger droughts, floods, or cooling in another. But it gets even crazier. AI is also being used to create autonomous climate control systems, capable of self-adjusting aerosol levels based on satellite and sensor feedback. In short, we are building a self-learning sky thermostat that could one day operate without human intervention. This sounds genius, right? Until it malfunctions, gets hacked, or begins prioritizing certain regions over others based on biased data. But who is writing the rules the AI follows? Is it governments, tech companies, or billionaires? And what if different countries program their own AI to optimize climate for their region only? The result could be geoengineering wars, where climate becomes a weapon controlled by code. So, while AI might hold the key to stabilizing a warming planet, it may also be the greatest wild card in climate engineering history. Smash that like button if you think someone needs to audit the code before we let AI decide Earth's future. Because once the machines start controlling the weather, we might not be able to hit undo. Scientists warns that if funding dries up or political winds shift, halting solar geoengineering midstream could set off an unstoppable chain reaction of extreme weather events, accelerating global temperatures beyond anything we have ever seen. And here's the twist, because the atmosphere doesn't recognize borders. One country's miscalculation could mean worldwide catastrophe. We are talking about disrupted rainfall in Asia, engineered droughts in Africa, and supercharged hurricanes across the America. It is no longer a question of if solar geoengineering is powerful, it's a question of whether we are smart enough, united enough, and cautious enough to control it. This could be the most dangerous science ever funded, and yet it's being rolled out with minimal public awareness. So, before we let algorithms and aerosols control the sky, we need a global conversation. If you believe the world needs to hear this, smash that like, drop a comment with your thoughts or fears, and subscribe so you don't miss what they are not telling us next. Because, in the race to cool the planet, one wrong move could heat things up beyond repair, and you deserve to know who is playing God with the weather.